acres in search of 3 rough-and-tumble mutts bounding towards us, or 1 lone Arab busy at his chores. But I cannot see a soul, not a whisper of life. And Monsieur Coichier gave you no inkling? He said there was a surprise. Well, he can't have been referring to the condition of the land. It hasn't looked this grotty since we bought the place. It must be something to do with all this masonry equipment. Let's take a look up the hill, says Michel, moving on ahead, leaving me to clip-clop an unsteady path after him. My low-heeled sandals are hardly suited to the loose stones and the sharp verticality. It is mid-June. The weather during our absence has been unseasonably hot, and Coichier has been complaining about the lack of rainfall since late April. The fields of spring wildflowers are long over, and what remains, what has grown up in their place, is bone-dry, scratchy and pallid. The greensward is made up of knee-high dehydrated grasses. Within it, I spot a bristly purple-blue flower that I recognise as viper's bugloss. I point it out to Michel, who frowns, continuing his ascent. I believe it was once thought to be a remedy for snake bite. This is the first time I have run into it because our grounds are usually kept neatly shorn to counter the risk of fires that accompany this climate's long, dry summers. This is dangerous, I mutter. Coichier and I will have to cut it back as soon as possible. I am puffing, out of breath, out of the habit of scaling our steep, pebbled hill, particularly in open-toed shoes and a skirt, and I feel saddened and confused by the disorderliness we have returned to. Michel, long-legged and lean, is striding purposefully ahead. He says nothing more, but his silence tells me that he is also frustrated. We come to rest alongside the upper cherry tree, whose fruits this year would have been devoured by the flocks of thieving magpies who nest here. We have both been away from the south on extended career assignments and have not been around to harvest the crop. Strange there's no sign of Coichier. In the distance, from one of the neighbouring medieval villages perched high above the coast, I hear the keening of a work siren, and I glance at my watch. It is midday. Time for lunch. He's probably gone off somewhere for a bite to eat. And then suddenly, from beyond the curvature of the hillside, we hear a cry. Monsieur, dame! It is Monsieur Coichier, waving and smiling, wading through the hip-high grass to reach us. In spite of the heat, he is wearing his black lambskin hat and dark ankle-length trousers. He never shows up in shorts or without a long-sleeved shirt, no matter what the weather. Behind him, through the thick undergrowth, I make out a pair of upright tails. Lucky, our Alsatian, and Basset, the little black-and-white hunting dog, are following in his wake. He must be boiling in that battered old hat. Where's Ella? I mutter. Ella, our golden retriever, is past retirement age, fat and arthritic these days, and I worry that while we are away, there will be a message from Coichier, or Gérard, our vet, informing us that she has been taken ill, or worse. She's probably dozing in the stables and didn't hear us arrive. Yes, on top of everything else, the poor old girl is going deaf. Lucky and Basset have spotted us and are bounding on ahead of their companion, a chorus of howls and dribbling affability. Monsieur Coichier speeds up his pace as he draws near. He is laughing, delighted to find us here. Our loyal Arab gardener and the pivotal cog of this modest olive farm has obviously been doing his rounds, completing a reconnoitre of the land. It is essential that our fencing is inspected regularly for signs of illicit entry by the wild boars, who gnaw through it, dig up the earth, buckle the walls, and tear at the branches of all our newly planted trees, particularly the apples. The trunks of our 200 young olives have been encased with wire netting to protect them against rabbits, who chomp away at the bark. This needs occasional reparation. A further requirement is to visit our basin at the hill summit to gauge the water level and guard against stagnancy. The hundreds of metres of piping that transport water up the land's gradient must also be kept under close observation, in case a length perishes, springs a leak, and dribbles away our most precious commodity. All these tasks take time and require attention on a twice-weekly basis. Bonjour, bonjour. He pulls out a creased purple-checked handkerchief and mops his tattooed brow before kissing the 2 of us twice on both cheeks.